Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone. My goodness, did we just finish up a greasy pre-show this week on the Massenomics pre-show. It's unfiltered, unrecorded. It's the show before the show. The only way you listen to that is by becoming a supporting member. And oh my gosh, was that an epic pre-show this week.
It was crazy.
It's not recorded. You just had to be there.
I'll say this. It was the conclusion to a 4-part saga. So
a 4-part pre-show saga.
Yes.
An epic one. Tommy accidentally let everyone in with their microphones on this week, so that was made for even
and
wilder
video was
rodeo to
allowed.
start.
Luckily, most people didn't have their video on. So
yeah. This is the real Massenomics podcast, though, now, and we are live from the Dean since 2013, the Massenomics podcast, episode 495. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
My name is Tanner, and I'm coming to you live from the Dean, as we always say.
Always been your log on call right there.
To be fair, I'm wondering if we don't talk enough. I would take it for granted that we've talked enough about where we're from on the podcast, but there was a question in the Massenomics Discord this week about where the meet is held.
I actually saw that.
I'm like, I think maybe we don't specify enough about Aberdeen, South Dakota, Western Northeast South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Crew Falls, South Dakota. I feel like we've been lagging maybe then.
Probably. Well, and to be fair, we throw out like a lot of directions so people can get confused there. I actually did understand that logic. Did you see how the person got confused?
What was
they were looking at where the meet was, and they knew it was at the Ramkota, so they Googled Ramkota, and the Bismarck Ramkota is what popped up, which, to be understandable, I think Ramkota is like a hotel ownership group is what they name their properties. There's like a Ramkota in Bismarck, Aberdeen. I think Sioux Falls was Ramkota for a while. But the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic and Massenomics Gym, all located in Aberdeen, South Dakota. The Dean.
The more you know, the Dirty Dean, as the locals love to call it. What do you think? Still, people don't really call it the Dean? I think it's.
I haven't heard a whole lot this week, but maybe I'm still behind.
I think it's catch. Oh, Big Anthony says the young hip kids call it the Dean.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, the Dirty Dean. It's like an AC/DC song. Dirty Dean.
Done dirt cheap.
That's right. This week's podcast is brought to you by our newest sponsor of the podcast. This is actually breaking news. EliteFTS, our newest sponsor of the podcast. This just in. It is their buy more, sale, save more. So essentially, the more you buy, the more you save. It's right in the name. I guess that was my cheat sheet to begin with, but it's a classic can't afford not to buy more. It's like the more you're buying, the more you're saving. So wouldn't you just keep buying more and more and more?
It's like the infinite money glitch right there.
Right. Free shipping with orders over $165, and then like if you order $100, you save $20 off. If you order $200, you save it just goes up the more and more. If you order $500, you save $180 off. And that's not all. You can use discount code MASS10 to save you 10% off on most of those things in those orders as well. I just used it here recently. More toilet paper and chalk showed up today. Two things you can't get enough of.
Single-handedly keeping that toilet paper business going for him.
Yes. And by the toilet paper business for Dave, I think from what we understand from him, it's mostly just still trying to clear out the one first order.
Incredibly lucrative, I think is what you're trying to say. Eventually, you're going to be like, God, the people filling the orders, going to be like, this guy's ordering toilet paper. Just send it all to him. Like,
that's kind of what I'm waiting to see.
He's the only one doing it. Just send it to him.
Like, I guess they're getting their money's worth out of it up there in the Dean. EliteFTS.com.
They're really putting the dirty in the dirty Dean, aren't they? This episode is also brought to you by Build Fast Formula. Supplements should simply work. Most don't because you're sold a line, a vibe, a boilerplate formula loaded with crap you don't need. You can't get better from clever claims and cool slogans. A placebo only lasts so long. You deserve real results from supplements backed by research, not pseudoscience and hype. You deserve supplements that work. Build Fast Formula has a great selection of supplements that work. And those products would include protein. They're 80-20 protein, 80% casein, 20% whey. Their VasoBlitz dual nitric oxide support supplement. Their Full Blitz fully loaded pre-workout formula, and their Blitz 3D that it combines the VasoBlitz and the Full Blitz. I got to tell you one thing, Tanner. I was just listening to the EliteFTS episode that had Chris Duffin on it. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
I have listened.
And I thought it was pretty interesting hearing some of his logic and reasoning behind how they formulated some of these formulas over at Build Fast Formula. I didn't know. I've never taken a super deep dive into why they do the things they do, but I found it quite interesting to hear him explain more in depth how they arrived at these things. So if you're interested in any of that, I highly recommend that episode. And if you're interested in buying any of the products, head on over to buildfastformula.com, use code Massenomics, and you can save 10% on your next order. Buildfastformula.com, code Massenomics will save you 10%.
Well, have you been listening to any good podcasts lately? You mentioned EliteFTS there. I don't know if we've talked about podcast listens for a while.
That's actually, you know what? That's actually a good topic right there. Yeah,
what are you listening to podcast wise?
Okay, well, it's always, it's a lot of the same. So I check into EliteFTS Table Talk when there's a guest that I like. I was
cherry picking episodes on EliteFTS. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yep. Do you even lift, bro? I enjoy listening to that one. I was the most recent guest, so a little bias there, but
little plug.
Plug away. I like that one. I got some tech podcasts I listen to. I'm a big fan of This Car Pod. It's a little car podcast that I listen to every week. Let's Get Stupid. I'm always checking in on them every so often. And just recently, those are kind of more the regular ones. Just one that I did mix in as more of a crime one that's been on my list for years was called Bone Valley, about a guy that gets accused of a crime and goes to jail for it. And then the investigative podcast team gets on it to decide, is this guy really guilty? And it was one of those types of podcasts. So what about you?
Yeah, what you mentioned there. So do you even lift, bro? I don't miss that one when there's a new one. My one critique for them is they should do it more frequently.
Yeah,
I'm a weekly podcast kind of man.
Oh, actually, along that topic too, I have been listening more to what is it called here?
Knurled News.
Knurled News. I've been keeping up more on that one because it's usually shorter, so it's easier to just crank that one out quick.
Yeah, and I love cranking one out quick. If there's one thing I like, it's cranking out a quick one.
One thing that I like and good, and one thing
crank out the easy one. Rub out the easy one first.
That's right.
Get cranked out. I do like Knurled News, so that's Big Jake and Big Mike. I've been listening to all of those. Like, there's a new one right now that I'm gonna listen to. Actually, what now allows me to listen to those, here's my more critique for them, is now that they publish it as an audio podcast.
I know,
because I consume audio. We have a lot of people that watch these on YouTube, which is great. Not talking you out of that, but most of my podcasts, the way I do what I do, it's usually my phone in my pocket, and YouTube does not work as well for me for that. So Knurled News audio form, listen to that now. I cherry pick Table Talk, Unpaid and Underrated, of course. Here's a newer one. Also supporting member, Rep Rant Repeat. He publishes 4th episode, I think. That's Big Man Who Parks in Gym, supporting member. What's kind of interesting about that is it is a solo show.
Yeah, I got to check that one out.
So that's a whole other kind of thing.
It's like a different medium when you're going solo all of a sudden.
It is. It is way different. Like if one of us was to just do one, we should do that.
It's funny to think about that being like,
that's actually like, we have to do that, where it's like, we're not doing it because like I can't get there, you can't get there, but it's like,
it's a challenge.
Socially. Yeah. It's like a challenge, like episode 501. You have to do it solo in episode 502. I have to do it solo, and we have to at least do an hour.
And neither one of us can listen to the episodes until afterwards. And then we'll be like, oh, that's
Right.
what he did for his hour plus.
Right. Yeah. Well, we could. Yeah, I guess we could record them.
Actually, we could just
record them
them
at the same
at
time.
the same day, and then be like, all right, whoever goes first. That's really funny to think about.
Maybe we'll do that sometime. I mean, since this podcast is never ending, we do have nothing but time in order to work that in. It's like, no, we still have to get through our ideas number 513 before we can get to that idea.
Get too much. We got to cover first.
So it is a solo podcast, which is just way different. Props to being able to do that. I guess what is this, episode 494? And we're 495, and I've probably been on like at least 10 other podcasts before. So we've both done over 500 episodes, and it would still feel really weird to do one by yourself.
It would be the challenge of knowing when to move on, and to just keeping things moving on your own would be tricky.
I mean, not that I want to give away my strategy to you for when we have this competition, but I would have to make a lot of notes.
Oh God,
I wouldn't want to read notes, but I would just need that would
bullets. Be what I would need, 10, 15 topics lined up for.
Yeah, so that no matter what, you can't get too far off. Other than those, OK Podcast has had a couple episodes back.
I gotta check those out now that they're back. I haven't.
Huck Finn Barbell with Bryce and Finn, when they put one out. Home Gym History, that'd be Rob when he puts them out. Some of these are just not frequent enough that it's. I listen to them when they're there. I just want more. That's my critique.
That's where I struggle though, is when people aren't frequent.
When you do one a month, it's hard for me to.
Yeah, I forget to check the feed, and then that happens to me, and then all of a sudden weeks go by, and I'm way behind, and then I'm like, I don't want to listen because I didn't know they were doing it. You know the feeling.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if I mentioned any non-lifting ones.
I don't think you did.
I'm kind of out of non-lifting ones at the moment. Because here's why. Because I guess I hadn't really specified this, but I still do podcasts for my lifting sphere of people, and then my non-lifting thing has pretty much been audiobook time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's either like I'm listening to a lifting podcast, or I'm listening to my audiobook. So
that
I haven't been listening to too much other talk show type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's this week's segment of what the heck are these guys listening to? What the heck are you drinking over there? You got a can or something?
I don't just got a can. I got a drink spotter. Chill.
Oh, you got the new chill. Oh, heck yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, heck yeah. Let me pop this bad girl in there. Whew.
Yeah.
The new black drink spotter chill.
It's nice.
Now back with even more chill.
Mm-hmm. More chill than ever.
I have this, well, you guys know I'm a bit of a rambling man, but this week we're going with the pure original limestone. I'm calling this one, they're pure. I'm calling it limestone flavored.
Just sounds.
I love
delicious.
me some water that's been run over the limestones. Tastes like it's fresh from a Texas spring. Lauren was there putting it in a can himself, I think.
Just bottling it
Big
up.
Lauren and Big Darren canning that up for us. So that's what we're drinking this week. Some of the best, finest canned beverages that we could find. All right. We got an interesting title topic this week. I'm excited to get to that. Before we do, we got a few other things. I do want to mention our affiliates, though, before I forget.
Very important.
We mentioned it briefly in the pre-show, the show before the show, but we have been really amping up our affiliate page. So go to Massenomics.com. It's one of the top clickable things across the menu bar across the top, or Massenomics.com/affiliates. You can see it there. And I don't know, it's getting to be that mostly any equipment that you would buy new, you could just about click on one of our affiliate links to get it, right? Is that fair?
Pretty much. I mean, there's definitely more companies out there than we have, but we tried to, for the most part, stick to companies that we do buy or have products from.
Right. So if you're buying from Rogue Fitness, Rep Fitness, PRX, Bells of Steel, Temple of Gains, Texas Power Bar, Strength Co., EliteFTS, any of those equipment companies, or anything from Amazon, you can click on Amazon a link. Some of these we have discount codes that you could actually also save a little bit of money. Some of them are not discount codes, but if you're buying from any of those and you click through the affiliate link, we do get a small amount of compensation from that. And the hope being that if enough people remember to do that, it ends up being worthwhile. And it's one of the things that keeps Massenomics running. It's becoming increasingly one of the things that keeps Massenomics running, honestly.
That keeps all these lights on.
Yes. I like Jake the Snake posted annual mosquito conference. But actually, okay, a bit of local Dean news. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. This is as political as the Massenomics podcast will ever get. And I'll just preface this so you don't turn it off.
I'm ready for
now.
this.
It's not political. It's comical, I guess, is why I think it's fun to bring it up. And I really don't I'm not even sure what my opinion is at this point. But the local Dean, one of the big talking points right now, I think it's coming up for a vote.
Can I guess what this is?
Yeah,
Is this
the
Main
Dirty
Street?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to a vote, actually?
I think so.
Okay.
The Dirty Dean Main Street. And for everyone that's been here for the Lift Hard Leave Easy Classic, you've probably been down Main Street. So if you went to Sammy's Omelet Shop, I know we've had people go there. The Flame, I think some people went there before. 322. Those are all on
Depending
Main
on
Street.
how you got to Loggers. Loggers is just like a block off Main Street.
Yeah. What
The
is it? Our
Circus is right
beautiful, historic downtown Main Street.
Beautiful historic downtown, and it's just the old meme is just a couple of buildings, some bricks, and a pile of dirt.
Yeah. Really, the gym is only like 2 blocks off.
It
Main
is.
Street,
It's right
too.
there, yeah.
Loggers is right there. Where else have you have people been? Circus is really,
Circus.
really close to Main Street too.
It's probably most of the places.
The zoo is on Main Street, but that's south.
that's the other
Main.
end, so that doesn't apply to this.
Yeah, you got to get north of 6th Avenue. So North Main is what we're talking actually. So yeah, do you know what the situation is?
Well, so right now, the Main Street of Aberdeen headed north is a one-way. It's 2 lanes, but it's a one-way road. And so for those, what is it, 5 blocks, maybe?
6.
6.
It'd be
Oh, yeah,
6th
6
Avenue
blocks.
to
Yeah,
rail-
right.
to rail-
Yeah.
yeah.
Those 6 blocks are only one way. You can only drive north. So if you need to go south, you need to take a side street, go all the way down, and then come back up north. You know,
So there's 2 northern lanes.
yeah, there's 2 lanes that go
parallel
north.
yeah.
Yep. And that's the way that you park. That's the way that all traffic goes. And that's just how the road has been in Aberdeen, I think, since when did it switch to
Like
that?
50 years or something.
Oh,
like
it has been
I
that long,
think.
actually?
40 or 50. Like what I've seen people saying, like, oh, it was like this. They switched it when I was little. And, these are like older people saying this. So I think 40 or 50 years, something like that.
And now the talk of the town is there's more of a push to once again make it 2-way traffic, with the idea that I believe the reasoning is that it would allow more through traffic and possibly more visitors to downtown. Is that the idea?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what the logic that I heard on that.
Yeah, I don't live there, so I don't have a real strong opinion on this.
Yeah. I live here and I don't have a real strong opinion because I don't really care.
Yeah.
I also heard that I thought this was an interesting take today, that if they make it 2-way like that, it'll slow down traffic because I can't go left to, you can't go around. And I'm like, it is so slow on Main Street as it is.
The
Like,
speed limit's 15, I think, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's like 10 or 15. I'm like,
Yeah.
how can you get slower? And the thought is like, so we want people to slow down so they're like staying on Main Street. And I'm like, what are we trying to do? Trap them here?
Gotcha.
I'm like,
Some
why don't
guy
we just
jumps
let
out
people
and-
through and then like put down a barrier and be like, you guys are stuck here now. We're letting you out in 4 hours. You just get in downtown historic Aberdeen and you like it.
Yeah, you take that parking ticket and just wait. You'll pay it and leave. Yeah, I don't have, anything to boost downtown, I think is good.
Yeah.
The
The cost is a concern.
Yeah, because
They
wasn't the
originally said it's
initial
gonna
cost supposed to be like $1 million, and then
but
somehow
now it's maybe like a couple $100,000. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know, man. I'd say a start would also be, depending on who owns a bunch of buildings down there, maybe look into like making some of
Do
those
something to 'em.
ones that are falling down. Like maybe look at like renovating that or leasing that, but putting businesses down there.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think I don't care if they do it. It doesn't really. I honestly, I'm being 100% honest. I actually don't care either way. It's not gonna affect anything I do. But when I say that, I also think maybe for that reason, I'm like, I don't know, is it worth it? Because my opinion is it's not going to affect anything. So why do it? I guess what it'll affect is the construction period where I'm annoyed when it's like for a year when it's all a mess. Yeah. So I guess maybe on that logic, I'm against it because I'm like, for a year, it's going to be a mess when you guys are screwing around with, or like a year and a half, probably.
It just seems hard to believe that, let's say 5 years from now, they're like, our downtown has transformed, and it's because we allowed one southbound lane. You know, like that would be craziness. I'm not saying it can't have an impact of some kind, but to be like, it changed everything. Like, it really feels like the bigger thing would be like, hey, you know how every block has a couple buildings that are in desperate need of help? Like, that probably seems like the more low-hanging fruit in this scenario, if I were to guess.
Let us know in the YouTube comment section.
All you city nerds out there.
You don't even have to picture our historic downtown Main Street. You could just picture any Midwestern historic downtown Main Street. They're all the same. Should it be two-way traffic or all one direction? What's better?
Maybe they need to change it to a one way that only goes south. So you have to go all the way around to come south down. Maybe that's the problem.
You mean just switch it from going north to going south?
Have they really thought this through in all directions? I don't know if if there's the South Party has been properly addressed in this equation. The people on the north end of town are like, damn it.
For completeness, can we like really...
All sides are represented here.
Yeah. That's hysterically absurd to say that. But then I think, is it that much more absurd to just be worried about switching it to two-way than it is leaving like one? You know, because like if you're like, no, it needs to flow the other direction. I don't know.
We need to reverse the flow. Oh man, people are probably just loving hearing.
Or I think they should make it like checkers. You can only zigzag across
every other block changes the direction. They're missing on some real novel opportunity here. It'd be like a tourist attraction.
Let's make it really crazy, and then that way we get in some like newspapers and stuff for a week. They're like, oh, did you see what they did in the Dean, historic downtown Dean, Main Street?
They're up to it again.
So stay tuned week by week as we continue to update you on all progress in the Aberdeen Main Street debate. One of the most hot button issues that I've noticed on stupid Facebook posts over the last week.
And you're not really lying when you say one of the most hot button issues here either.
No. Yeah. I'm saying it as a joke because I think it's funny, but that's actually 100% true. Yeah. That's the talk of the town, kind of. I mean, we're not like my family sitting around talking about it. We couldn't care less, but it's like if I look on Facebook, that's what I see people are talking about.
Oh, I'm catching the spillover from that down in Sioux Falls here. I'm seeing it all over.
Next thing you know, they'll be changing your guys' directions of Main Street. What is Main Street in Sioux Falls?
Well, there is a Main Street, but kind of like the main drag, the closest thing here would be Phillips Avenue.
Right. But that's funny how it's not funny. I guess it's just the way things worked out. But like some towns, Main Street really is not even a thing almost. Like,
yeah. Well, especially like bigger cities, I think it gets kind of just lost in the...
Like in Fargo, what is that one? Is that Main Street or is that different? Is that Broadway?
I was going to say, I think that's Broadway, isn't it there? That busier road that has all that stuff on it.
Right.
I think it's Broadway, but I could be wrong there.
Let's pick one Midwestern town per week to analyze the flow of traffic.
The flow of their Main Street.
Yeah.
Just every one of them all just are two lanes going north. They're like, how did this happen?
Yeah. You got a couple topics in here that I'm curious about. These top two things. Does one of those make any sense to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little something for you here. This will take me a couple minutes, but let me I'm going to say a series of words, Tanner, okay? I just need you to put on your thinking cap for a minute here.
Oh, this isn't more flow of traffic stuff, is it? It's like Frogger. Turn it into Frogger.
All right. Okay. I'm going to say a series of words, and I need you to tell me how these words are related, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
P, penny, nickel, quarter, $50, ping pong ball, golf ball, egg, tennis ball, baseball, apple, softball, grapefruit.
They're all round things, and it
They
almost
are.
seemed like they were in from small to larger.
Yes, those are all correct statements. Wow, how are they connected, though? What is the logic here?
Could you say it one more time? The series, like
Yes.
they're all connected. So there's a common thread amongst all of them.
There's a common thread.
Beyond just being round,
Yes.
round and
Yes.
from smaller to larger.
Yes. P, mothball, penny, nickel, quarter, $50, ping pong, golf ball, egg, tennis ball, baseball, apple, softball, grapefruit.
I don't know.
That
I
is.
feel like I should know. Is it obvious? Should I know? Or
Yeah, I think afterwards you'll know. That
Okay.
is the way the National Weather Service measures
Oh,
hail
hail.
size,
oh,
just
hail,
proving that
yeah.
Americans will use anything besides the metric system.
Yeah, say them again now that I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's of course true. Every one of those, I'm like, yep, that's
okay. You ready for this?
yeah, like that's obvious. Like in hindsight, I recognize every one of those as a measurement of hail.
Yeah. Ready for this?
Yeah.
P, mothball, penny, nickel, quarter, $50, ping pong, golf ball, egg, tennis ball, baseball, apple, softball, grapefruit.
I'll say one of those I feel like I've never heard referenced that way is mothball.
I know. That would
I don't
be
think
your-
I've ever heard them say mothball sized hail.
I haven't really either. This also
It's
says,
always like 80% of the time if someone's talking about it, it's golf ball.
oh, 100%. That's
Like-
the one that sticks out. Okay, you know
Yes.
what? The reason this came up to me is because my parents took the kids this weekend. I have to meet them in Old Brookings, South Dakota, to make the exchange of the children.
Was there some supporting members there?
Unfortunately, actually, yes, there was. Yeah, I forgot about. I was so caught off guard. Yes,
Yeah.
Big Jonathan. I'm standing there, and we're at the gas station, and I can't even. I hear, they let anyone in here, and I'm trying to like put a car seat into the car, and I look up, and
Yeah.
old Jonathan Phillips has his phone out the window, catching me in the act there.
Yeah.
But that was for the drop off.
I got that Snapchat.
On Sunday when I went to go pick them up, I get the kids. I'm headed back to Sioux Falls, and there is some very dark clouds ahead of me. And I'm driving, and it's just like rain is all it was. And I've actually never seen this before. On the interstate, pulled over on the side of the road was probably a row of 30 cars with their flashers on. I'd never seen that. I didn't know what was going on. What I realized then is that it was hailing, and I came like right when the hailstorm was done. And so they were parked because of all the hail. And there was all this hail on the road, whatever. I'm like, I actually haven't seen hail in a while. I get home, the TV's on, and there's a little blinker going across. Severe storm, hail coming through, $50 size hail. And my first thought is, $50? Okay. When was the last time you saw a $50 coin in your life? Like if you told your boy, describe a $50 to me, would he even know?
Not sure.
Because
Not
then
sure.
what I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I know they have some wacky ways of measuring hail. Like, is
Right.
silver dollar one of them? Because I don't know how big a silver dollar is. So then I started going down the rabbit hole of how do they measure hail? And then this is when I found the official National Weather Service size chart here. And out of all of them, looking at it, $50 is the one that doesn't seem to belong as far as being like, I don't know how big a damn $50 is.
Yeah, I like the idea that we're using antiquated or like out of circulation forms of money that like half the population's never even utilized. As, it's like, why don't we start using other things that people don't like? Oh, it was an iPod Shuffle size hail. It's like, iPod Shuffle? I haven't had one of those in like 15 years. What is
Here's the
that?
new chart. iPod Shuffle first gen, iPod Shuffle second gen, iPod Nano, iPod Nano
You're like-
fourth gen.
You're like, which one was that? Because it's like, what's the dollar versus the $50 one? And if you say a silver dollar, is that a little different or what? Like
I know. I'm like thinking about this though. Half dollars, are those even in circulation? Are they still minting those things,
I don't know. I mean, if they are, it has to be just very. They should stop. If they are, they should stop.
I'm getting to the bottom of this. Somehow the Zoom call is working perfectly, but Google is slow. Yeah, it does say the Kennedy $50 was issued in 1964 and continues today. So apparently it's out there, but they are stingy with those things.
Why do we need that? I want to know how much money gets spent on that existing.
There can't be many. I mean,
Right.
oh no, this says primarily for collectors, not general circulation.
Oh, okay.
Production for circulation ceased in 2002, but they continue to produce them for annual coin sets.
Yeah. Ceased in 2002. Like, people didn't even carry those. Like, people carried those around as a novelty. It'd be like a thing your dad would have in his pocket. You'd be like, whoa, what's that?
Right.
You know?
Oh, 100%. Like, it would just be, I remember seeing them when I was little, but it's been a
Right.
long time since I've seen one of those things.
Yeah.
But I just
Yes.
have the size burned into my brain for when it starts hailing. I know if it's trouble or not.
I remember for a while the gold. They tried to push, I think it was probably when I was in high school or junior high.
The Sacagawea ones?
The Sacagawea gold dollar coin. And like I think they pushed that as like trying to get that circulated. And
I think they did.
It did not work.
No, it didn't. And I feel like I remember vending machines having issues with understanding if they're quarters or dollars.
Yeah, well, vending machines were set up to supposed to even be taking them, and I don't think it was working all that well.
I don't think it did. I feel like I specifically remember losing dollars before, when thinking you're just putting a quarter in.
Yeah. Do you remember? I remember when I was a little kid, they started the quarter states
Oh,
where
God.
and then everyone had a book where you collected your Denver and your Pennsylvania mint quarters from each state, and it was. They did them in order of the states becoming states, and I don't know how many years that went over, but I mean, it was over many years. It might have been over like 10
It might have
years
been,
or
yeah.
something. Do you remember that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because you just wait for...
It's like, oh, you got the Delaware one. It's out. You got the Delaware one already? Like, when's the last time you remember being people? That's the only time I ever remember people being excited about money coming out.
So in case people were wondering how lowly stimulating the world was 20 years ago, you would get excited about quarters.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a younger brother that had the map on the wall with all the quarters put in it, and it was just, you just wait for him to come out so you could fill that up.
Yep. I was like, oh, and then like when the South Dakota one came out finally, it's like, oh my goodness, South Dakota, what's it going to be on it? I suppose you knew ahead of time.
I don't even look at quarters anymore. I mean, you got to get ones that still have different states on them, right?
I don't know.
They got to be in circulation, you would think.
Big Ron says they switched to animals at some point. I don't remember. I don't.
Boy, I do not remember that
That
at
state thing was a big deal. They should just do that all over again and
Run
just
it
come out
back.
with a new thing on the state. You know, get people hyped on quarters again.
That's what the world needs to be, is hyped on quarters. That's the campaign for it. They're starting the hyped on quarters campaign.
We're bringing the quarter thing back.
You're going to need like 50 of them to buy anything.
Quarter, the new penny. I know this has probably been like 2 or 3 years. Well, it might be like 4 years since we've talked about on the podcast. I think it was probably an over-under topic at one point in time, but it was the penny. And we discussed, because Canada got rid of the penny, I believe.
Oh, that actually brings up an important point to me, though. Speaking of Canada coins, what do you think? Do you think they measure their hail in loonies and toonies? Do you think?
Yeah,
do you think
it was loony toony sized hail, baboony.
What else do they do in Canada? I'm just trying to think what the Canadian scale for hail would be.
It's probably something that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just the metric system. That's all it is.
So like it was 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
The hail was
like,
2
oh,
centimeters.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so
grapefruit
clear.
size hail would be deadly.
It just
What are you gonna
murdered
get hit in the head by a 2-pound missile coming from the sky?
I know.
It's like getting hit like shot puts raining from the sky.
Oh God, that would be brutal though. Can you imagine?
Oof. That you'd want to get under some concrete structure for that.
This is, if someone isn't in an area with hail, this is the South Dakota guide to hail. It's either hailing out or it's golf ball size hail. Those are the two.
Right.
Those are the two gauges you get. There's either hail
Most
or golf
of
ball.
the time when it's hail, it's
Just hail.
sleet and grapple
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Are you familiar with grapple?
Grapple? No.
Grapple. Yeah.
I thought you were trying to say gravel.
No, it's grapple.
What is grapple?
I only know this because it's been a long running topic of discussion. I think it was a trivia question one time, and now now our house is very versed on grapple. So
What is it?
Did you Google it?
Well, it's
I
just.
don't want to bastardize it. It's like I kind of compare it to sleet.
Let me see. Maybe I got to put in more. Oh, grapple, sometimes called soft hail or snow pellets, is a type
there
of
you
precipitation that resembles tiny soft balls of ice or styrofoam.
Like, doesn't that kind of
Okay.
seem like sleet to you almost?
Yeah.
It's like not as wet as sleet, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah, I know what you mean, where it's just so in between hail and snow and sleet. And
Have you ever heard of grapple?
no, I've never heard that term before.
Is hail North America wide weather condition? Like, does everyone experience a little hail every year, or because it's very common here during certain months? You know, in the summer months, like we'll experience hail, and
Let's see.
it's a big deal because it hails on
No,
fields.
does
and then it
not
destroys
happen
crops.
everywhere.
Okay.
It according to this little handy dandy map here, you could say it's most common in the old hurricane or the old tornado alley.
Out. That's why I wonder if it corresponds with tornadoes.
Yeah,
'cause
real
it kinda-
middle of America kind of thing, and then it really drops off the farther east and west you go.
Hail is you know the sound when it starts to hail, whatever
yeah.
you're in, whether you're in a car, a house, or whatever it is, it's an unmistakable sound. And if you're of the age that you owned anything, it's a sound that will make your stomach sink
Just
to the bottom of
turn.
your body the second you hear. You're like, oh,
You can
crap.
guarantee the one summer you leave your vehicle, the one night in the summer you leave your vehicle parked outside, you're gonna wake up and just hear some crazy storm in a mad panic.
Well, I guess for anyone that doesn't know, it totals vehicles if
Yeah.
it's bad enough. You know,
Oh yeah,
and,
everyone's known
it
someone that has a
ruins-
vehicle that's just been destroyed by hail damage.
Yeah, it ruins roofs. You know, you often have to get your roof is a total loss when it gets significant hail. It ruins crops. If you're a farmer, there's nothing worse than a bad hailstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like you
so-
said, if you're wondering what it sounds like, just picture being in a car and someone throwing a bunch of $50 at it while you're inside.
Here, let me paint a scenario. Imagine if you were in a car and someone hit you with a golf ball. If you could ever, anyone that could ever picture such a scenario, I personally cannot imagine that sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
But
What type of sick individual would ever wish that on someone?
imagine that only it's 1,000 golf balls, all of which are nobody's liability.
It's
Just much like a golf ball itself. What do we think? Should we do supporting our supporting members?
I think it's that time.
Okay, we're going to, just a little roadmap for everyone. We're going to do supporting our supporting members. We're going to look at certified training facility of the week. We might read an ad or two, and then we're going to get into our title topic this week, which is a doozy. But first, supporting our supporting members. And got to mention this, by the time this comes out, it's too late. You're too late. If you're listening to this and you are not a supporting member, I'm sorry. We failed you. I mean, I've said it before. We are to blame. I just apologize sincerely that we let you down by you waited to become a supporting member. You idiot.
I would say the only chance for redemption is to just sign up now anyways. So for the next time this comes around, you're just
Yes.
already in.
Yes,
You know.
because
You can look
By
at
the
this two ways, half full or half empty. You're either too late or you're really early for the next one. It's up to you to decide
That's
at this
true.
point.
that's I'm too pessimistic on the whole.
Yep.
I'm a glass completely freaking empty and destroyed sort of guy, and you're a glass half full sort of guy. So, yeah, you could sign up for next time, but that means by the time this comes out, we're just getting. Well, we'll talk about actually. We didn't talk about our trip that we're heading for. We'll talk about that, but we'll just be getting home. By the time this episode comes out, people will not have their mailer yet, but they will be headed out the door very soon. So maybe like next week's episode, something like that, we'll get to talk about what the mailer is or somewhere in there. So everyone can be pumped. Everyone that is a supporting member that was smart enough to get joined up in time, you can get pretty excited because we got something special coming real soon. But like Tommy said, that's not our last crew gift, or that's not the last special thing that crew only get on. Actually, just today, we were brainstorming already.
We
A
have
whole
got
bunch
some
of-
plans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm we do like to joke about this sort of thing, and this one's not even out the door yet, but I'm already pumped about the next stuff that's going to be coming for crew. Like this
Oh,
one's
you
not
guys
even
are
out the
excited
door.
about this one? Well, we've already moved on mentally.
That is how it works. Actually,
It's called 2 Steps Ahead of You. Try and keep up.
One of the other perks of becoming a supporting member, if you want to find out all of them, you can go to our website and you'll see all. We got a completely revamped supporting member website. Actually, it's massenomics.com/join.
Yeah.
Is that just the sign up page, or does that then take you to the?
That takes you to the supporting member landing page.
Okay, yeah. So massenomics.com/join. That's where we want you to go. Check that out if you haven't yet, and if you haven't become a supporting member, check that out. There's a lot of more information. We really bolstered that page. It's pretty cool now. You can see a lot of community stuff we got going on.
I mean, you got the guys in the hot tub from the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. You got some more guys smoking cigars. You got some guys at this gym, guys eating pizza. Some girls from the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic are in one of them even. I mean, a lot of good photos in there.
And supporting our supporting members this week, we have Big Hunter hit a family PR. Congratulations on the baby girl, Big Charlotte. Joined the Big Hunter family, so congrats. Big Friendly Neighborhood Lifter competed in his first men's physique show. He got first place in the 40-plus-year-old division. We'll call that the Masters division. He took it home first.
Looking shredded, too.
We're going to get a closer look at that bod here real soon.
We're going to need to see this up close.
Yeah. I don't believe it might have been Photoshop, so we're going to go take a look in person.
Get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Big Ben Bile competed in the Apex Strength Games strongman competition. He got a 295-pound double overhand axle deadlift, and he also did a 610-pound yoke carry. Big Alex went 8 for 9 with the 1,207-pound total in his powerlifting meet, going 429, 242, and 535. That was the USPA Attilis Classic. Big Jose is 1 week out from his IPF debut.
Mm-hmm.
Big Luke also hit a family PR. The crew is growing exponentially with his new baby girl. So congrats to Big Luke. Tell him congrats if you happen to see him down there in Texas. Then last but not least, Big Antonio El Pinche was this week's guest on Unpaid and Underrated. Go give it a listen.
Also, Tanner, on the topic of supporting members and how we had made some tweaks to the website there, we talked about the affiliate page, made some tweaks there. If you hadn't looked lately, the Certified Gyms page has had a few tweaks to it as well. So whether you are an existing certified gym or you have been thinking about it, been on the fence, take a look. I think you'll like what you see there.
Every time we think we're kind of done, we've been like updating the website now for like 3 weeks, and we just keep coming up with more good ideas and keep updating it. And it's pretty sweet. If you haven't just been to Massenomics.com and in general for a while other than the shop, go browse around some of the other stuff that's going on there. Working more on, there's an events page in there. That's where
I left that part out too. Yeah, you're right. There is
Yeah.
an events page now that we right now just Crew Falls is listed in there, but we have enough things going on throughout the year that we're going to make a little events feed so people at any point can click on that events button and just know what the heck's going on with Massenomics.
what's coming up in the next 12 months, basically, like where you can be to see what we got going on.
What part of the
next 12
Midwest
months.
you can find us in.
Right. You can also check out our Hall of Fame page. That's for anyone that's a supporting member. You get in on the Hall of Fame program. Check that out. There's also the records page. Right now, it's mostly just the horse stall mat grip records. This just in, horse stall mat grippers completely sold out today. We have no more horse stall mat grippers. Maybe if enough people go and sign up for a back in stock notification, maybe we'll bring those back at some point in time.
Wow.
They are completely sold out. If you've got one already or one's on the way, make sure to send us your best lifts, both single and double hand, and we can get you to added to the record book right now. Right now, the easiest record, easiest one to make a splash in would be the single hand women's. We don't have that many entrants for the single hand women. So if you're a female and you got a horse stall mat gripper, go do your single hand lift and get it sent to us so we can fill out that portion of it. If you're a man doing single and double hand, we'll get you added to the list. It's going to be tough now to break into the top 10, but you can at least see where you stack up compared
It
to everyone
is
else.
some very, very stiff competition in there, if you know what I mean.
Stiff as a horse stall map. All right, should we do a certified training facility of the week then?
I think so.
Okay, you got anything in mind on that map? Or
Oh, God. This is the hardest part of the entire...
last time we were in Utah, we went Maine, Sweden, Utah.
Maybe we need to go... Boy, it's just, there's nothing that annoys me more when I click on a gym and there's no photos of the thing.
Yeah, if you're already a certified training facility, make sure to send us your photos so we can get you added. What about O'Doyle Rules Barbell Club? I was just clicking on one.
I like how that sounds.
He's got 2 pictures.
Yeah, let me find it here. There we go.
It's it right next to Louisville.
Yeah, there's
KY.
actually a surprising number right in that Louisville area. I had to click around a little
Kentucky
more than I would have
crew's
guessed.
really been growing
Have
on
been.
strong lately.
I like that. Okay. Ready to take a look at this?
Yeah.
The O'Doyle Rules Barbell Club in the Louisville area. All right, first up, we got a basement gym here. And we got horse stall mats, floor to floor, it looks like. Oh, yeah, floor to floor horse stall mat coverage. I like that. A lot going on here, a lot to look at. First thing, should we take it to the foreground first, Tanner?
Yeah, I like to start in the foreground whenever possible.
Yeah, work your way back. I like that. It's interesting. He has one of those rogue benches that has it looks like it's the foam pad thing, you know, with whatever they call that. Doesn't it look like that because it has that embossed rogue logo on there?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know, and we don't have any of those benches, so it's always unusual to me when I see one of those because it's just not what I think of when I think of a bench typically. We got that. And then in the corner of the foreground, it kind of looks like one of those little Titan leg extension machines.
Do you think that's the Titan plate-loaded leg extension machine? Leg extension / leg curl?
It could be. It's hard to say for sure just because I can't see
I think that's
enough
definitely
of it.
a possible option there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I've had a hard time seeing a better angle of it, but I think that might be what it is. Okay, we got a lat pull down low row machine of some kind. I'm not sure what it's plate
Does
loaded.
have the low row option though. Also,
Yep, that does look like a nice piece. We have a GHD, GHR sitting there with a bunch of stickers on it.
Yep.
Like to see
Is
that.
that? I don't know the brand. Doesn't really matter, but looks like a GHD GHR situation.
Yeah, I can't quite tell what brand that is. A lot of Massenomics flags and banners on the wall. We start looking around.
Of course.
Lots there. We got a combo. I think it's a Hansu combo, isn't it?
Yep, Hansu Power Combo. I wonder, is that the one that I've got in my garage?
I
Pretty
think
much.
so. I thought that they were the same, but I know it was in the last year or so he added that. So we got that there. Got a little vertical barbell storage in the corner there. And then there's also a power rack, 4-post rack.
Oh, he's rocking the Power Rack and combo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's got a bunch of strength co plates on that power rack too, I believe, doesn't he?
Yes, those definitely look like strength co plates to me. What's off the top? Oh, are those his knee sleeves hanging on his Power Rack?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I wasn't sure what that was either. Yeah,
Those
I think he's got his knee
conical
sleeves.
things coming up off. Yeah, that's his knee sleeve drying rack. There is what that is.
Yep.
It's a 4-post knee sleeve drying rack.
So that's oh, and then there's a treadmill, of course. Got to have one
Yeah.
of those for that cardio.
Yep.
I think that covers photo 1 pretty good. Photo 2, we got some mirrors. We got the certified training facility flag. We got the Crispy Boy banner. Looks like we got the West Side Rogue,
Scout.
West Side Scout reverse hyper.
Yep.
And then
Power
blocks over in the corner there. We got some wall control with a few attachments too. I think that's most of it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really solid basement gym, isn't it?
That is everything you need to get strong, and then a little something extra
Well,
there.
I mean, officially though, like, do you think you could get strong there if it was you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What do you think the history of it is?
I bet it is
basement
a
gym like that.
long, complex history in that place.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the O'Doyle Rules Barbell Club in Kentucky, the KY crew.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, get yourself on the certified training facility map. You sign up at Massenomics, get yourself in there. You get a flag, a special signed certificate with your name on it, your gym name on it. You get some special stickers, and probably the coolest part is you get on this map, and then you can send us photos and videos and stuff like that, and we'll get them added there. And even if you're not one, just go check out this map. Someone was asking a while ago, like, they were worried, is this like strictly a gym share map? Like, if I'm signing up for this, am I agreeing to a gym share thing? No, though actually one of the questions when you fill out your application to be certified is, do you welcome any visitors or not? So you get to choose in there, and then if someone does welcome visitors, that's noted when you click through the map. You can see that visitors are welcome if they've indicated that. This week's episode.
Should I start booting people right now?
Yeah, let's boot people.
Okay.
Boot their asses. Tommy's a bit of a historian. We all know that. One of his favorite things he likes about the lifting culture is history.
The lifting culture. Let's talk culture in general.
Just everything. He's just a history buff, I guess, is a shorter way of putting it. So whatever it is, the number one thing he likes about everything is the history. And Texas power bars, not only are they not an exception, they are like the rule of
they got
thumb.
a rich history.
Yeah. So, but speaking of modern day Texas power bars, I know you're not going to like this quite as well, but I did want to talk about some of the modern day stuff
right there.
Yeah. Texas power bars carry forward Buddy Cap's vision. Hand built in Texas, each bar delivers unmatched durability, grip, and performance while staying at the forefront and the foreground of innovation for the next generation of lifters. Recognized as both the best powerlifting barbell, fact, and the best multi-purpose barbell, they have set more records than any other bar in history. Fact, from Fred Hatfield's 1,002... Okay, good, we're back to history. Fred Hatfield's 1,002-pound squat in 1985 to Tiny Meeker's 1,102 bench press in 2016, and Ronnie Coleman's... Did you know this? Ronnie Coleman's 800-pound deadlift.
Mm-hmm. I know all these.
Alongside Mark Hanlon. Yep, that would be at what gym there in Texas? Where were they lifting at?
What the hell is that gym called? Why can't I think of that?
Metroflex.
Yeah, there you go.
Metroflex.
I was just going to say Flex Gym, but I knew that was wrong.
Yeah, trusted from home gyms to collegiate and professional platforms, including the NFL Combine and world stage competitions across the United States, Argentina, Finland, Australia, Russia, and beyond. These bars embody Buddy's faith, his craftsmanship, and his engineering excellence. Check it out, TexasPowerBars.com.
This episode is also brought to you by The Strength Co. At The Strength Co., strength isn't just a goal, it's a way of life. They offer everything you need for your gym. They're a symbol of American manufacturing pride and veteran ownership. Join them as they make the world a stronger place, one training session at a time. And you think, well, that all sounds good, but what the hell does that mean? What I'm trying to say here is go to thestrength.co and get yourself a pair of Strength Co. Olympic iron barbell plates. They're smooth yet easy to grip. They're E-coated. They're made to last a lifetime. They're the real deal. They're our favorite plates in the gym. They're our go-to plates. So we don't just say that. They really are our go-to plates. And I think if you look around, if you're the type of person who likes to shop around, I think you'd be surprised that when it comes to American-made plates, they're actually a pretty affordable option compared to some of the others that are out there on the market. So if you're interested in a pair of plates or a whole set, go check out thestrength.co. Thank you, Strength Co. Oh, yeah.
First one didn't feel intense enough.
That's what I needed.
That means it's title topic time. That's, you know what that sound means, title topic. So what is our title topic this week?
The working title is The Most Overrated Home Gym Complaints.
So what do we mean by that?
You know, we're guys, we consume a lot of home gym media, a lot of home gym content, and you see certain things, criticisms, complaints, critiques brought up pretty commonly. Some of them might be valid, some of them not valid, but we're going to just pick apart some of these and determine, is this complaint legit or is it overrated? And you can decide, are we onto something here or are we just old guys sounding angry?
Yelling at kids to get off our damn grass.
Actually, it's funny. We had several of these topics written down all independently, and then we're like, wait a minute, this is just one bigger thread all connected here.
Right.
And then we realized, yep, it all goes together.
So to even preface it before, I think with a lot of them, maybe not even all of them, but a lot of them, there is some amount of validity to the stuff. Like,
oh yeah, there's a little bit of truth in all of these.
Little bit of truth in all of it, but we mostly think they're overrated or overblown, or that it's not there. It's probably not as big of a deal as a lot of people like to believe that they are in a lot of these cases, right? Like there is some validity to a lot of it, and we may even be like consumers or users.
We've even bought into some of these things.
Yeah, we may buy ourselves into it, but the true nature of overrated, underrated, as we had become experts on over the years, is it's not necessarily do we like the thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's has the idea become overrated, and that's the lens to look at this through. So if we say something's on the list, it doesn't necessarily mean we think it sucks. In a lot of cases, that's not what it means.
Or that it's a bad criticism or a bad critique. We're not saying that either.
We just think it's become overrated to do that at this point, and that catches people up. People get hung up on that, so it's important to mention that ahead of time.
We don't make the rules. We don't make these rules, so we just have to live by them.
We did make the caveat to that. We did make the rules.
We don't make the rules except for when we make them. But besides that, it's just how we have to play the game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. So what is your first, Tommy, what's the first thing that's become most overrated? And this is kind of, we hear people say this like you said, we consume this content, and these are things we hear people say a lot. So.
I think this first one is the one that kicked this whole conversation off.
Yeah.
This is the one we had to make a note of. And it is the nylon pulley versus the aluminum pulley.
Yes.
And
So what is the What is the people say?
Just watch
some
any
people
review.
Have no idea what we're even talking about.
Watch any equipment review that has a machine with cables in it, and there will be a point in that where they will discuss whether the pulley of the machine is made of aluminum or whether it is nylon or like plastic, basically. But yeah, so you'll see whether it always is a discussion point. Is this pulley nylon or aluminum? And the common consensus seems to be that nylon is vastly inferior to an aluminum pulley because aluminum is far smoother is what gets brought up all the time, to the point where actually most companies now, I shouldn't say most, a lot of companies now have upgrade options for aluminum, or hop on like any home gym, I don't know, Discord, Reddit thing, whatever, Facebook group, and you'll see posts about people talking about, oh, I got this machine, I switched out all of my pulleys from nylon to aluminum, and my machine's so much smoother now. And I'm not saying those people are wrong, but there's so many things with this. The first thing I'm curious on is does really the nylon, the plastic pulley versus the aluminum pulley, that cable gliding across those, do you really, really feel the difference of the friction of that cable on the two? Or is it just one had a shitty bearing in it and the other one didn't? Like, I want to assume that more often than not, that's actually what it is the critique is the bearing that is in that pulley more than anything. And it wrongly gets attributed to aluminum a lot of the time. That just makes so much more sense to me.
Because the cable touching the pulley
has like a plastic sheath around it.
Right. And so the contact surface or the plastic sheath and either the aluminum pulley or the plastic pulley, sorry, the aluminum pulley or the plastic pulley, it touching that can't be significantly different either way. Like my point there is like, we're talking about the making contact of the different types of surfaces. That can't be all that relevant. It has to be, if there's a difference, related to the bearing
and
or
how the thing
whatever
actually
that-
spins, right? That just
Right.
makes so much more sense. And
Right.
just a funny part for how I've seen this is, like, go look at, for the most, and maybe this is changing because of home gym trends, but go look at like a lot of high-end commercial gym equipment, like Life Fitness, pieces that cost many, many, many thousands of dollars. And it's
Right.
pretty much all nylon pulleys on all of those things. And I remember there was a comment, or there was a post. I cannot remember if it was Watson or Alico or something. They were showing off on an Instagram post some type of, I cannot remember, it was some type of machine. It had pulleys in it. And I remember one of the comments on it was, "Oh, really disappointing to see a premium company like this use nylon pulleys." And their own company, where money is not an object, they were like, "After extensive testing, we found that there's no difference between aluminum and nylon pulleys as far as the feel goes, and nylon pulleys will make your cable last longer." And like, this is a company that's like
This is actually
invested,
a pro.
yeah, like this is a company that's invested in providing the best, most expensive shit possible. And like, that
they're
was their
saying, like-
response to, like, I can't imagine they're like, "Oh, we're going to charge like $6,000 for this, but we just can't
We're
swing
gonna
another,
cheap
like,
out on the
we
pulleys.
can't swing another $200 for the pulleys. Like, our customers just could not stomach that upcharge."
Right.
So,
right.
and just
So
like,
they literally determined that the plastic ones were a better option for their
yeah,
machine.
I wish I could remember. This was a few months ago. I think it was Watson that had that. I cannot remember. I wish I could find it, but I just thought it was really funny reading that thread. And then, like, for real, go into a commercial gym full of, whether it's Life Fitness or Hammer or whatever they got, there's probably just nylon pulleys on all of it. And
Yeah.
now, is there a difference between, like, our aluminum pulleys just on average built better than nylon pulleys? Maybe I could see.
You mean between the bearing or whatever?
Right,
that's
right. When I say
inside,
when I'm saying the quality, I'm saying mostly the
Yeah.
construction of the components. Like,
Right.
is like, I also wouldn't be surprised if, because it's aluminum, like the actual shape of the wheel and the groove are maybe machined better than they would be like on a plastic nylon one, anyways. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if the aluminum, because it is more premium, just has a better bearing in it than whatever the
Right.
nylon one is rocking. But I just have a hard time believing that. I would think the bearing and then just the amount of play in the cable would play a way bigger impact on the smoothness of the machine than what the actual physical material of that wheel in the machine
Right.
is.
I would agree with that too. I think I think some of these topics catch wildfire.
Oh,
within
100%.
the group, and
100%.
it's like, and nobody even is, not nobody. A lot of people aren't even considering the implications of why they even want it.
The
at a certain point.
implications of
Yeah. Yes. So I think this is a great one to kick off with, because I'm kind of like, I'm convinced that doesn't matter to me.
well,
I think because the commercial gym scenario you brought up, also every one of them on the cable crossover, leg extension, leg curl, lat pull down, and Massenomics gym. This is just anecdotal, my little corner of the world. They're all none of them are aluminum.
well, in the cable crossover, that's a commercial Life Fitness unit. Like, it's,
Oh yeah,
and like, it's been through the ringer, man. Like, that thing's been used.
right.
and
That's what I'm
abused.
saying. Like if all the time, and this is just one, just purely anecdotal, so you can take it with a grain of salt. But there's no pulley issues. I mean, having aluminum pulleys on there would do nothing different. There would be no net benefit of that.
Right.
I'll stake that claim.
Well, and then the other thing we talk about, and this kind of goes with all of this stuff, is like, how much are you trying to just cut all resistance out as well? Like, this is resistance training. And at a certain point, it's like,
that's true for a couple of these, even a couple more so for a couple of these, where you're like, it's a weird thought at a certain point that you're trying to make it. And I guess I get you want the weight. I guess I kind of get it. You want the weight to be the resistance, not the friction to be
right. But like,
the
I mean, it's
resistance.
a diminishing return thing. Like, you can't tell me that
Yes.
the different, like, the resistance, like, if someone somehow measured through a scientific experiment, like, what is the
Right.
coefficient of the resistance here? Like,
Right,
it can't
right.
be like drastically different between the two.
Right. That being said, if I'm going to buy a piece of equipment and it does have aluminum pulleys on it, I also think that's fine too.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
I'm like, it's not a big selling. If I'm looking at two exact ones, and one is $200 more that has aluminum pulleys. I wouldn't spend the money on the difference. I don't believe, from what I understand up to this point. But if it has them on it, I'm going to be like, okay, cool. Especially,
just to show,
maybe it looks cooler. I don't know
how sometimes you need to step back and think. When I got my lap pull down last year, picked it up, and part of the refurbishment process was like, oh, I can upgrade all of this to aluminum pulleys. Like, all right. And I'm like, wait a minute. You start looking at them, and maybe I didn't look enough, but I'm finding them, and they're like, I don't know, $10 a pop or whatever. And my machine has like 12 pulleys on it. I'm like, I don't want to spend $120 to have maybe
more than the machine.
Maybe a smoother machine. Like when it comes to my own money, I'm like, no, I'm not spending my money on that.
Because then what if you just change some of the pulleys to aluminum? What's the
does that do anything though? Like
right.
Then it looks weird because it's this mismatched system of, it looks like, oh, did you run out of parts here, or what happened to the budget where like these things aren't matching?
I still think there'd be a lowest common denominator at play if some of them are nylon, if there really is a difference, and you have some aluminum and some nylon, whatever the negative effects of nylon ones are, you're going to experience it still because of some of them are left as nylon.
Yeah,
so
you would think that the system would just degrade to whatever the worst one is in it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Enough on all of our physics knowledge.
our lack of. There's probably some people like, oh God, these guys are wrong on everything.
Yeah. Anecdotally, though, I would say from a user experience, I've used some with aluminum and some with nylon, and I can't. It's made up to me. The difference is negligible.
Yeah, I would say this. There's been some new machines we've used that have aluminum pulleys, and I think, oh yeah, this thing is really smooth. But then I wonder, what would this be like if it had been in a gym for the last 20 years, getting used like 10 times a day, all day, every day? Would it still feel this smooth? I don't know what the answer to that is, but that's where because that's what I'm comparing it to. Equipment that's just been through the ringer.
Yes. Okay. What's next?
Next on the list, this is one that I see get used a lot as well. The criticism: knurled everything. Every touch point must be knurled, or your hand will slip off and it will just fall apart. This one's fine. Whatever. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things where, there are things where it 100% makes sense to have knurling on it, from a grip standpoint and just like hanging on. But I don't know. I'm also assuming that the difference between knurling something and not knurling something, there is a cost. There is a cost to that, and there's certain things where I think it probably doesn't need knurling, and you can just save someone the $10 to $20 upcharge or more of knurling, whatever that might be. So I'm not in the camp of thinking that every single thing always needs to be knurled. And also, let's be real, there's varying degrees of knurling. Like there's definitely pieces of equipment that have knurled handles and things on the equipment, and you're like, this could just as well not be knurled because it's almost decorative at this point.
Right. This definitely stems as a Coop thing. There's a few things on the list that stem from Coop, and I think this absolutely came from him originally. And
to be fair, when he first started saying this, there was probably like nothing knurled. Like he's been saying this a long time,
right?
And I think things have come a long way since then to where it's, I think, much less of a thing than when it used to be.
I think on my Rogue flat bench, you know which one I'm talking about, the nice one.
Yeah.
I think that had a regular smooth one and you could upgrade to the knurled one, and I did.
Yep.
I just don't know if that's
like bench. You no longer dropped your bench anymore.
Right. I mean, like, I'm also, how weak is your grip?
It kind of just feels like it's just a jewelry. Like you're just buying jewelry for your equipment at a certain point.
So can we agree there is no functionality to it then? Like, is there functionality to those things? Like you need it to have knurling, to be able to grab it? Or is it just look cooler? Because I'm actually down with things looking cooler. Like the aluminum pulleys, the biggest thing I think is if you can do it like anodized red aluminum.
Like those Titan ones.
Then I'm like, okay, that's freaking sweet. It looks cool. Like,
it does.
Let's make that the argument. It looks cooler.
Yep.
Then I'm like, okay, I can buy that. So it's like the knurled everything. Are we just saying it just looks cooler?
I think that's the primary benefit is that
more.
It looks cooler, not that like your equipment's constantly slipping and flying out of your hands.
Like,
and then you can justify it by saying, well, but now it won't fall out of my hands. I'll have a better grip on it.
Right. But we're saying it looks cooler. It also just like fits the vibe more too. Where
That's,
you're like,
yeah, I think
no,
that's
it's the gym stuff. It's knurled now.
First
You're
and
like,
foremost, an
this is a
aesthetic
gym-
thing that
Yeah.
you mask in saying that it's a functional reason is why you need it. You know, that's how you justify it to yourself.
Right. Have you ever grabbed any of those things? Like we're talking the bench handle or like an adjustment on a machine. And
actually-
been like, wasn't knurled. Just keep slipping.
Like my Rep AB 5200. One of the things people like about it is it has a knurled handle. And it was just the other day I was picking it up and I'm like looking, I'm like, this is the most passive knurl in the world. Like it's
right.
I mean, yes, maybe it's better than just completely smooth steel, but
Yeah.
like this isn't doing much as far as the actual.
But it's just aesthetic. That it's achieving
Right.
the aesthetic checkbox when because that also proves the point. It doesn't really matter what the knurling is like.
I know,
Just that it
I
is
know.
knurled.
Yeah.
You know what machine has the wildest knurling on it though? For a machine of the places we've been to, you know what I'm going to say?
The pit shark. Dude,
Juji Mufu's pit shark.
that is
The handles on that thing.
That's like a Rogue Eggroll 3X on the handles of the pit shark. It's
like
crazy.
these 1.5 inch handles that like you grab that thing and if you like do a dip on it or something, your hand is going to be completely imprinted with knurling.
Like an actual
From
cheese grater.
fingertip to palm. Yeah, it's funny you knew that exact same.
It is
one.
when you said the most aggressive. It just stuck out to me because it was so crazy. And I'm curious if all of them were like that or if that was the one he got happened to be like that. But
Right.
yeah, someone else that has a pit shark, tell us if the handles are insanely knurled on yours too. I want to know.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, I want that. All equipment to just have the most aggressive pit shark knurling on it.
It's like not good enough
then
for
we'll
it to
see
have
if people
knurling. I
like
want
it.
it to be. I want it to be dangerously sharp knurling.
I want it to potentially cut me if I grab it wrong.
Yes.
Next one on the list. This is another common criticism. The objects are too heavy. And there's a couple things that this gets brought up a lot on. Benches are too heavy to be maneuvered and moved around. And attachments, I've noticed lately, that's been a big, oh, I gotta plug my light in.
Yep.
That's been a
Light
big
change over there.
I forgot. My light was running off a battery. I forgot I unplugged it. Attachments. A lot of people now, they're liking aluminum attachments because they're not as heavy, whether it's like a lat pull down or something else. And I'm not debating the quality of that. Like, I'm sure they're still nice, but sometimes I'm like, again, doesn't the feeling of heaviness convey like a sense of security and trust with these products?
And even if it's not necessarily true, is there a feeling of quality just too? Where
Oh,
you're just
absolutely.
Like,
It's like a very common criticism of my bench. Again, now we're bringing this Rep AB 5200 up is I think it weighs like 120 pounds or something. A lot of people knock it because it's too heavy. I've never once in my life thought that at all. I've touched commercial benches that feel significantly heavier than this thing. The way either that they're weighted or the handles are on other units can make them much harder to
we've
move.
had a number of commercial. Do you remember like the old commercial benches we had in Massenomics?
That
over the
one?
years? One probably weighed like 600
Yeah,
pounds. I
it's
think.
like, oh, you want to move that up?
No, it's an
You want to just
exaggeration,
move that
but-
off the edge of a horse stall mat? Well, good
Yeah.
luck, buddy. Like, that's an actual heavy bench, and maybe I'm coming from a different realm where I'm used to
Right,
commercial
right.
grade equipment, but I've never once thought that my bench was too heavy to maneuver. I mean, it's
No.
like you pick up the end. I mean, I'd actually like to know if you took a scale weight to it and picked up one end, what it actually weighs, because you're not lifting the
Right,
full
right.
120 pounds, and you get it up a little bit, and it's on the wheels then, so it's
Right.
not hard to move at all. But that is something that
Actually,
people
every bit that you get lifted up more, it's lighter and lighter.
yeah, and let's just people knock that piece of equipment for saying it is too heavy. Now, granted, if I was like a 5 foot tall woman, not saying they're not strong, but just being shorter and everything, like that's a tall bench. I can see how it could be a little more unwieldy at that point. Just it's more awkward angles when this bench is like, as tall as you. That would be a little more weird. But when I'm going to bench and I had this meet, I weighed 220 pounds. There was some benches I took on this thing that were over 315. And like, I'm thinking, okay, this bench is supporting over 500 pounds.
rock solid.
I don't want to think like, oh, I'm really glad they made this
got
thing
it lighter.
lightweight. Like, I want this thing to be as solid as possible, not move one bit when I'm unracking it, because that's a lot of weight, And you're in a more extreme case. Like, could you imagine at your heaviest
Right,
being
if
like
I'm
275 and
almost
benching like
300
450 on
pounds
there?
and benching- Yeah, it's Like it's got 700
pounds.
pounds
It's like,
laying on
yeah,
it.
you don't want to be thinking for a second that, I'm glad this bench, like,
glad they made it light. Oh, I wish it was lighter.
That's not a good feeling. And so that's the one you see with some of that stuff. I mean, I can understand, like I said, for the movie and how it can make it a challenge, but just beefiness, it inspires confidence. And now with attachments, a lot of people have, whether it's lat pull down bars or like multi-grip attachments, this has been more of a popular thing here, is that, the aluminum, it's made out of aluminum because it's so much lighter. And I'm like, well, the attachment in the first place only weighed like a few pounds.
3 pounds.
Yeah.
That light, especially like the benches. Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. What are we in the gym for? Like, come on. We're trying to get stronger.
Trying to
we're
get
like,
strong, stay strong, and use our strength here.
Like, this bench is too heavy. I was like, come on. I try not to be that guy all that often about stuff, but I'm like, I'm like, it's like, man up a little bit, dude. Like, you know.
When you just take that one right at face value, it's like, yeah, man, okay.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Next on the list.
3x3 1-inch racks,
Mhm.
11 gauge steel. You could have that. That's like 3 qualifies there. The main thing is probably 3x3 with 1-inch holes in it, where it's like an elitist attitude towards
or
that.
a 1-inch diva, maybe is that?
And everything else is inferior or almost unusable to go to an extreme.
And
right?
yeah, this one, I mean, 3x3 and 1-inch, that is the, I don't want to say industry standard. That's like the top end of what things are. Like that's the biggest, the beefiest.
People have variations. That's always like their biggest, most expensive one.
Yeah, for every company, like that's the cream of the crop. That's the top of the lineup, is the 3x3 1-inch holes. And then if you were to look down the list, probably below that, you would say 3x3 5/8 inch. And then probably a notch below that would be your 2x3 and whatever spacing they have on there. Will all of those get you strong? Yes. Will any of those hold you back from your strength goals? They really probably shouldn't, because attachments exist for all of those. If I were to say, in a perfect world, would you go with 3x3? Probably, because I think you have the most options for attachments if you're going to go 3x3. But
that's
then,
the biggest selling point of 3x3 1-inch is just the options. Honestly.
Just the compatibility, everyone.
That's why I have them in mass. That's why all of mine are is because it's what people most widely make options for.
They do.
Like that's the best part of it.
They do. And like, can you find 2x3 attachments? Absolutely, all day long. Like you totally can. But if you want the biggest variety, like being in a 3x3 system, will give that to you. Now, when you're talking 1-inch versus 5/8, is there more for a 1-inch? Yes, there still are even more attachment options for a 1-inch system, but you do pay a premium for it. And it was like you asked me, Tanner, I think on one of our gym tours we filmed, Tom, you got a 5/8 inch rack. Were you still able to get strong with just 5/8 inch attachment holes, not having 1-inch? And I said, I'm still finding it out, but I think I might be getting strong with just 5/8. I can't tell you for sure yet, but I think it might be working with just a 5/8 inch system.
Yeah, that's where I think it's overrated. Like where there I'm a user and a buyer and a consumer, but I think the thought process is overrated, because I'm like, all right, let's get real. If it has 5/8 inch holes, what's different other than you have to, the main perk, the reason I have that really is probably, I just think it's mostly the options that it opens. Mm-hmm. You can just, there's never going to be something you can't get for that. Like if people really make weird. Something, they're going to make it to fit that.
Yeah. It'd be
like
really
if there's
weird.
only one option, it's going to be that.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes. And I will say, after a year and a half of having a 5/8 inch rack, the only attachment that I've had to look more than a minute for to find was a leg roller was a little more challenging with a 5/8 inch system. Not that there wasn't options out there, but the 5/8 options that existed were ones that I didn't like a whole lot from a design standpoint. So again, I could have typed it in and found one and bought it right away, but the most immediate options from the biggest names weren't. There was just a few design things about them that the 1-inch style typically. I wanted something that was more in line with what the 1-inch style had. Just took me a little bit of looking, and I found that. But for the most part, though, I know some people will tell you if you start going deep into the all-in-one trainer and something like that, maybe then that's when you would need a 1-inch system. But I don't even know if those all-in-one trainers require 1-inch or not. That's how little I pay attention to that.
Yeah. Okay. These next two, are they somewhat related to each other then?
Oh, actually, yes, they are. You're right. Next on the list, we have things are too loud. Too loud for my ears. Make it stop. Yeah. So this is a common complaint brought up, whether it's plates being too loud, just weights in general, dumbbells being too loud, adjustable dumbbells being too loud, and bars being too loud. Our good buddy Brandon, he probably popularized this barbell test. I think it was when he started. I think he had a review for the American Barbell. I don't know if it was the Chewy bar or what was it. Yeah, it might have been the Chewy bar actually, where he did a little drop test of it and just showing as a way to show the tolerances how tight it was, that when you dropped their bar, that it pretty much made no noise. It was kind of just a thud and that was it. Where some of the other ones, you would drop them and you would hear some more rattling in them. Does that speak to quality craftsmanship? Maybe, or I don't know. Maybe it just speaks to someone just having tighter tolerances. I guess if you can decide if that's quality craftsmanship or not. I mean, to a certain extent, yes, it is. But I see that brought up a lot with people critiquing barbells. Ooh, this barbell has rib sleeves. It's so loud when I put my plates on, or things like that. And clanging and banging, baby. Isn't that the point of this whole thing?
I think that rib sleeve thing is something I would have never, I owned 60 different barbells. Mm-hmm. Had that not been a thing that I just know people talk about and some people don't like. I mean, I would recognize that some of them are different. I don't think the thought would have ever crossed my mind that one's better or worse because it does or doesn't have that.
Right.
When I put one on and it makes a noise, I've never once considered that. If not for people having talked about it, I would have never even thought that someone would be worried about that, which way it is.
Well, and I see people bring it up I lift in, a home gym or whatever, my kids sleep and I need it to be quiet. I'm like, you can just put the plate on the bar a fraction of a second slower and it won't make any noise, that's kind of how that goes. But
do the ribs, in theory, they prevent some walking of the plates?
I think that's what the complaints I've read, because I don't have any bars with a smooth sleeve. I think people said when you have a smooth sleeve, the plates do move around on it more if you're not using collars. So the ribs do keep it in place to a certain extent, It's also going to depend a lot on the plates you're using too, but
I don't care about the ribs on the sleeve either way. It doesn't matter to me, I guess. I don't care. The bar noise test stuff. I guess it's interesting.
Yeah,
to
it's
me.
interesting and novel, but again,
I like seeing it.
It's the American Chewy bar. I guess it makes less noise. It's also
that is a sweet bar.
It's also over twice as much as a regular bar. So better to be doing something better, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Leon, the weights, weights being loud and plates and stuff. I biasly do come from a school of training where I want it to be a little loud. I guess I'm not training somewhere where I have to worry about waking my kids up, so I don't have that concern like someone might, but I come from a school where I like it to be a little loud. I want the music to probably be a little loud. I want the weights to be a little loud. It's like the environment to me.
And I get it. Sometimes you are in environments or situations in a home gym where things need to be quieter. I understand that, but
right.
At a certain point, if you're really getting after it, it gets hard to re-rack your weights if you got actual heavy weights on them, and not have the rack make noise, the plates make noise when everything, it kind of just happens at a certain point.
tell you this much. Some of the best, strongest, most fun sets I ever had didn't end with silence. You know what they end with? Slamming something, re-racking it, screaming.
Maybe like 1 or 10 guys screaming.
Yeah. Not how many times are you doing an awesome lift and you just very cautiously
no noise.
Just ease it back into the rack.
Noise.
No, you hit the bench, you slam it back into the bench.
Oh, 100%.
Like
Yeah.
like you don't go, yes, great lift.
Exactly. I'm right there with you.
Here's one that I like, the resistance curve. Like you could specifically relate it to cam shape on machines.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not new, actually, what I'll say. We've talked about this too. I actually have 2 points here now that we're talking about this cam shape thing. We had a separate conversation about this that I think is also relevant to this. But what this resistance curve or cam shape thing, I'll be the first to say I like to optimize, which is the funny buzzword that we talk about that people say, we like to, if we can do things to make exercises better, that feel better, that feel like they're working the muscle more or whatever, that we're also in favor of doing that. But there becomes this point of overratedness to this stuff where people dwell on it to the point where I'm like, do you even lift?
It's the hyperfixation on details,
right?
That are at the end of the day details.
I'm like, and I get it. If you're an equipment reviewer, that's your job.
Yeah.
Like to look at these details and, we do some of that same stuff. You're looking at the details and it's important because you got to find differences. Like what is different about them? But at a certain point, people over fixation on this optimization of the perfect strength curve or the ideal range of motion, all that, which I get, it just becomes overrated. It just becomes a point of where I'm like, oh, come on, lift.
Look how that, like, okay, Jose, very strong guy. He has a lot of prime equipment. And one of the selling points of this prime equipment, the plate loaded ones, is that you can load the resistance curve the way you want. Now, you got to experience it firsthand. You can, make it heavier on the bottom, heavier in the middle, heavier in the top. It gets very complicated in a hurry, like where you should be even doing this. But what I always laugh at is you'll see these posts in the Garage Gym Reviews Facebook group of people like, oh, I really got to get this machine because I can load the curve here in these certain spots. And I'm like, are you at that point in your training where that's what you need to be worried about? Because I'm not sure you've reached that point.
Yeah, I kind of respect Jose's position on it because of, and it's not fair to me to judge everyone based on how strong they are, but in some of these contexts, it does matter to me.
Yes,
actually.
because that's
like where I'm like, no, Jose, you got something figured out here. Like
and Jose's very, very strong. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like he's at a point where some of the stuff might matter.
The hyper optimization matters. Yes, because he's literally trying to make the world team for powerlifting,
right.
And anything he can do to give him even a 1% advantage would be huge.
Yes. Yeah. So then when I see, I'm like, I don't know. Just some of that stuff I think people just worry about too much, right? Like I'm like,
yes,
that doesn't matter. That's not the thing that's holding you back. Our joke is like, oh, this is finally the thing that get me strong. That's not the thing that's finally going to get you strong.
Right,
what's not getting you strong is that you don't train hard at all. You don't do any of the important lifts. You're not consistent. You eat like shit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
it's not because the cam is too round and not oblong enough so that in the bottom position you're not getting enough resistance, and the freaking range of motion isn't quite far enough that you're not building enough muscle development through hypertrophy because of those reasons. It's like that's not true. Stop saying that.
Yeah,
but that being said, if you give me two machines there again, and you're like, oh, this one feels better because it got a better stretch, and this one doesn't, I want the one that I also want the one that's better, but it's usually not that important.
Yeah, and this thing also kind of ties into the Voltra piece of you can modify the resistance curve to anything you want, and do not get me wrong, it's super cool. But I sometimes think about it in my own training. I'm like, I would just put like the weight on because I'd be like, I don't have time to dick around with all these curves and like figure out what's actually going on here. I just need to lift the damn thing and get done.
how have you decided what's better?
Well,
like, how have you decided what
with
the
all those
best
different
strength
modes
curve for that?
Yeah, you'd
for
have
what
to run
exercise?
it. You'd have to run it for several cycles,
Yeah.
and then try it again. And even by then, it's like, well, if it was getting better, then maybe the thing that got you to that point, changing it up. I mean, it's just so hard to test that and actually know. Like what is
Right.
the thing that's doing the thing you want it to?
Well, you know why it's so hard to test that? Because the difference in results are going to be so minute.
mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about, okay, a Vulture exercise. So we're doing face.
We're talking accessories.
Like
Yeah.
we're doing tricep push down or a face pull. Like some of
Yeah.
these, we're doing these accessory movements. What is the measurable difference between if you're training with intensity versus if you have it set on straight weight versus you have it on reverse bands or, just make up whatever.
Right, yeah.
And you train like that for a 16-week block both ways, similar rep. We're not even manipulating rep and set
Yeah,
teams.
we're
We're
just
just
keeping it all.
manipulating
It's
the
like, well,
the strength curve.
just right off the bat, you're going to get better at it from a technique standpoint. So you're going to have gains
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, that's
There again, I think that's a really sweet toy. If I had one in a home gym, I would mess with it and stuff. I think it's cool. Overrated though.
yeah. Okay. Well, so yeah, that's actually, we did put the Vulture thing down here.
Right.
I kind of did just sort of bring that up, but yeah, like this, there is for sure a Vulture bias going on with things. And like I said, I think it's a super cool contraption. I'd love to have one someday. It's not high on my list, but at the end of the day, I just will never forget, Tanner, on this podcast, probably about 10 episodes ago, you're like, it's just a portable weight stack. And you're like, how
Right.
often do you need your weight stack portable? And I'm like, me? Never do I need it portable. So it's like, well, what are you buying here then? And that
Well,
just
I guess you're buying the
just
different resistance curves.
made me see so clearly. Yeah, I guess you're buying
Right.
smart resistance curves, which again
Right.
isn't super high on my needs list. Because I know that I could just put more weight on and just actually just try harder, and like that makes. I mean, I'm just telling you from experience. Like
You could focus more on the movement. You could try harder and also just be more in the moment of like, okay,
Oh yeah, like I
like let me connect my mind to this muscle that I'm moving
Yes,
here and
like my
actually only
bench-
move it with that muscle.
like in my own experience, my bench right now is the best it's ever been in my life at 36 years young, and that
Yeah.
was when compared to in my late 20s where I had nothing but time. I could spend as much time in the gym. I had as much as I had all the time in the world for recovery and training and eating. And I didn't take it. I just didn't take those things seriously enough. I didn't put in the right amount of effort. And now this past year, like I just smoked all of my accessories. Like I just put in so much more effort. I picked smarter accessories. And it's like, oh, you know what made me stronger? Just picking better accessories and trying harder. That's actually what made me stronger. Like not any resistance curve stuff or anything like that.
right. Still cool though.
Still cool. With all that being said, still cool.
You put knurling on extra crap, it's still a little cooler. You make the pulleys like red aluminum, still looks a little cooler, but overrated.
This one is okay. This is again kind of two things. So okay, we'll just say cheap things are cheap. Sometimes when I see people talk about piece of equipment, they get mad that it can't do X, Y, and Z, or that it only does one thing. And sometimes I think, well, yeah, because that's what it costs to make it do that thing. Like, yeah, we could add aluminum pulleys. We could add a knurled handle. We could make it have this adjustment here and add this thing here and maybe put a cam here or a different cam here or adjustable weight horn here. And I'm like, yeah, you do all that, but now you've just made the thing cost 3 times as much and it's not that product anymore. So this, I don't know. This is more of maybe an abstract one, but sometimes I think people don't look at things for what they are or forget to grade on a scale that something that is really expensive should be held to a higher standard because it is really expensive, where cheap things can just be what they are because they're cheap for a reason.
Yep. Yeah, you could continue to add all these options and make everything better. It's just going to cost more. Like that's the trade-off.
Here's what, and like this is, I mean, not even, I actually just today listening to, I think it was Knurled News. One of the things, and again, I'm not the market for this, so I'm not a good person to talk about this, but
I like knurling so much. I even like my news knurl.
exactly. News knurled. Check. They were talking about like a Force USA all-in-one system. And again, I'm not the customer for this. I don't have,
Jake had one of those in his garage gym. Right?
I don't know if he had a Force USA Did he? I can't remember. He had
Wasn't
two of
that
them.
the second one?
He had
or
an
not?
Inspire. Maybe the Force USA was the second one. Yeah, you might be right, actually.
Yeah, Inspire was the first one.
Yeah, and then maybe the Force
I
USA
wasn't
was
a
the
fan
second.
of that one. I think the Force USA seemed a lot better than that.
Yeah,
one,
it
though.
did seem much more just like a power rack all-in-one type solution.
Right.
And I don't doubt that it's a bad product, but like this one they were talking about today, you know, it's a power rack. It has a Smith machine in it. It has an all-in-one functional trainer. It has these, you know, free motion arms. It has all this stuff. And it's a 1x1, you know, 3x3, 1-inch hole system and all this. And it's like, and it costs $7,000. I'm like, oh, okay. So what does it
You
cost
did
to
make
do
it do
everything?
everything, yeah.
More than I've spent on my entire gym is what that
Right.
costs.
Right.
So, you know, I have no doubts that it's probably a pretty well put together product. A lot of people that know a lot do think it's good, but I see that and I think, yeah, I don't need something that can do everything because that's just a lot more than what I want to spend on something like that.
Right. What's left on the list?
Oh,
Is
last
there-
one here. Okay,
yeah.
last one in the complaints we have here. I see this get brought up a little bit too. Is someone comes out with a new product and there's usually I'd put this as kind of like a hater comment, like, "Oh, just wait for version 2 when they fix this, this, and this." And to be fair, there is some of that happens in the fitness space. But I would also say this: if that piece of equipment, that whatever that is, accessory, is the thing that is actually missing from your training, just get it. Like, your training's going to be better now having that than waiting a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever that might be, if version 2 ever does come around. If it really is something that is needed in your training or something that you think will help you achieve your goals, just get it now. And when that day comes, you know, if you need to address it then, and the version 2 really is that much better, well, then you can have a look at your budget and all that. But, I mean, you could go on all day with all these. Like, no company's ever just like, yeah, we're done. We this problem's been solved. Never again will
Right.
we make any variation. There's always new stuff coming out all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're going
Right.
to play that game, you'll just never own any fitness equipment ever.
One side tangent I had that I thought of before I forget. This is not directly related to the topic at hand, but it's in relation to something we discussed, like related to the cam shape and of these machines. Thought it was interesting. We had this discussion on these machines, how it was funny. I look at these 40, 30, 40, 20, 30, 40-year-old commercial gym machines, selectorized machines that seem to have kind of had this stuff nailed, that now we feel like it's novel when the equipment companies that are more home gym focused are coming out with now. I'm like, that's not new. Like,
Right.
that's just
Well, so this is what we were talking. Okay, this is a discussion we had offline where what it feels like what happens actually in the home gym space is the commercial gym industry has had a ton of money pumped into it over the years, like insane amounts of money. And there's been massive teams of people that have taken on things, and a lot of things they figured out. Like, yeah, we've learned more stuff in recent years, but a lot of this stuff they did figure out pretty well back then. And I think what happened is then when the home gym stuff started happening, it was, you know, like these
well,
small
they just made
upstart,
shit at
yeah,
first.
like a lot of it was just like upstart companies that didn't have budgets and didn't have teams. And so
Right.
they just pieced stuff together and,
they
you know,
made the most dumbed down versions of stuff.
right. Yeah. They made just versions that you could fit under the bed and that people could,
Right.
you know, it fit under the bed and you could easily pick it up and move it, you know,
Yes.
and that was what it took. And so then they made like these dumbed down versions of it. And then as time went on, the home gym space got more and more sophisticated to where it feels like now what's kind of celebrated in the home gym space is just what the commercial gym space figured out like decades ago.
Right. And it's just evolved
Well, like
into something that already existed.
I mean,
kind of, or
you know,
to
talking about
match
like that
it.
cam
Yeah.
thing, like you're
Yeah.
looking at old pieces of equipment in any
Yeah.
like commercial gym, and they have the cam thing figured out. You know, it's not a perfect,
Right.
you know, it's not a perfectly circular
It's not-
cam. Like they've
Right.
put some thought into that. The other one we had the revelation on is everyone's talking about like these tornado arms and these adjustable
Right.
trainer arms, and you're like, well, actually, like it's all just rip-offs of the free motion functional train. Like
Right.
you look at that, it's like, oh no, everyone's just trying to do that, but just put it on a rack. Like that problem's already been solved. The model's out there. It's just how do you integrate it into a rack, which
Yeah.
I guess maybe that is the hard part, but there's so much that you look at that's been done or that seems novel, and you're like, no, just look at the commercial gym space. You can go back far enough. Someone probably made a machine that actually solved that problem. It might have got forgot about or lost in time or been kind of obscure, but a lot of the problems I think have been solved over the years.
Yes. We had a shorter list of wild cards where we thought there were even more valid complaints. We're like, no, these ones aren't even really all that overrated. We just kind of probably agree with them more so.
I think the most valid complaint, and I even here, this still might not even get enough credit at times or enough importance, but space constraints. I think that is the most valid complaint when talking about a home gym, because there's pieces I would love to have, but I'm like, I just can't. You had 2 or 3 of those, like I've quadrupled the size of my gym. There's enormous. So in a home gym setting, space is like the most important factor. Even in a commercial gym setting, Tanner, at a certain point, Massenomics starts to have a lot of stuff in it, and space becomes more and more of a premium every year.
Yes, it matters. And then assembly directions. Like, it is just nice to actually have decent assembly directions, because it is frustrating when you're putting something together and you don't have directions how to do it.
It's just like an exploded diagram. You're like, what goes where? When do we do this thing? So, props to any company that actually puts in the time and effort for whether it's assembly videos, well thought out assembly, print directions, whatever that might be. That's always a bonus in my book.
So that is our most overrated home gym complaints. Any missed ones that you thought of while we were going through, or did we nailed it again?
Yeah, and this topic almost borderlines on most overrated home gym trends even, but trends you could actually take into exercises and things like that. Maybe that's another topic for another day, Tanner. Overrated home gym trends, because actually I could go on and on about that more.
Yeah, that might be another one that we save for after we do those episodes where we each do a solo episode.
Yeah, that's right. Be a good way to follow those up.
And let us know in the comments, what do you think we missed that people talk about?
Yeah, I really want to know, because I know there's people out there that are like, oh, no, you missed this one.
Yeah.
The drop test, things not surviving the drop test. That's a good one. Like, how aggressive are you with your equipment?
What are you doing? Dropping that from a forklift? Let us know what we missed, and then also let us know what you disagree with and why. And start that statement. How do they start when they disagree? It's my incorrect opinion is.
Yes.
Here's how you do it. If you have something you disagree with, my incorrect opinion is whatever you disagree with, fill in there. That's fine. And then how do you end? There's an ending.
You end it with, but whatever, I don't know anything.
Yeah, but whatever, I don't know anything. So you're welcome to
whatever
any
you
criticism you want, as long as you bracket with those things, because then I read it and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not offended, because you're stating that you're incorrect and that you don't know anything.
If you don't follow that, Tanner will get extremely mad and delete your comment instantly. So that's the key to your comment surviving.
Yes. Yeah, and say what was that one more time at the beginning?
It's, my incorrect opinion is state whatever you want, anything you want, and then end it with, but whatever, I don't know anything.
You can put anything between those brackets then that you want to.
Preferably you keep it to the task at hand here. Like, you don't need to spread this to bigger problems, but preferably we're talking about your incorrect opinion with home gym complaints.
Yes. So let us know in the comment section with those qualifiers. Okay. We are headed for a trip. Just a couple days. By the time this comes out, that's how fast we move on this thing. By the time this comes out, we're already back. But as we record this, like 2 nights from now or 2.5 days from now, we'll be across. Actually, so when this comes out, all cats will be out of the bag of where we're going, right? Just want to make sure I don't put any cats out of the bag.
Because this will come out on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and we arrive on Friday, so.
Right. So we're not, because we do have one secret. We've never done this before. We have a secret home gym stop.
Yeah.
that the home gym owner himself does not know we're going to. That
He's going to get
we've been
pumped pretty hard.
yeah, we've been able to keep completely under wraps through the help of his wife, and so we're pretty excited about that. I mean, I guess we've already been there then by the time this comes out. It's okay to
Yeah,
say
but
it,
do we want to?
Yeah, we
Well,
keep
because
it.
there'll probably be
keep it.
Instagram posts about it. I never thought about this.
Yeah,
at
there'll
all.
be Instagram posts probably.
Yeah. I mean, we could just spill the beans on it, I think, right?
Okay, so yeah, so we could just lay out the rough trip quickly then.
Yeah, the full trip.
We're going to leave Crew Falls, South Dakota, Friday morning, very early before dawn, fly through Chicago, very short layover, and then land in Buffalo, New York, Friday just before noon. We're then headed to the Cesny's house to tour their home gym in Buffalo area. We, from there, are headed a couple hours down the road to the east to Rochester, beautiful Rochester, New York, to completely surprise Big Keith at the No Wine Cellar. He does not know we're coming. His wife is in on it. We've scheduled it with them, with her, and we are going to walk up to his house, and he has no idea we're coming. We've kept secret the Cesny's and Rochester, this New York part of the trip, because most of the stuff is not really it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from there.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to, there's all part of the master plan that you wouldn't really suspect that we're coming up there because the rest of the tours are like 5 hours away.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, because of the nature of having to do that, there's a whole bunch of other places like around Rochester and stuff that we would like to do home gym tours, but there just literally is not time.
We just got to keep it moving.
Yeah, not in this one, not in this trip at least. So then we're being Rochester Friday afternoon, and then we do have a long drive that night to get to.
I've heard New York's a very large state. We got to drive across that damn thing.
It's actually true. We have many hour drive because our Saturday morning tour is Big Brian Koppelman, and that's still in New York State. So we'll do his tour. For anyone that doesn't know Brian, we've talked about Brian before.
Brian Koppelman.
I get confused on what he's wrote and what he's produced, but Rounders,
writer of Rounders,
Ocean's 13,
Billions, the TV
Billions
show
on Showtime.
Yeah,
Look up his Wikipedia; you'll see that stuff.
he's written a lot. You could say.
Yeah, yeah. After Brian, our next stop is Evan Centopani.
And if you don't know who Evan Centopani is, 1, what are you doing with your life? And then 2, look it up. And then, I mean, he's like, kind of was like the animal guy for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, just iconic ads.
Really cool dude. Not unlike everyone on this trip. It's just going to be, it's fun.
A lot of cool
Going
dudes
to-
on this trip.
Yeah, a lot of cool dudes that we're going to get to hang out with. So Evan Centopani. Then after that, it'll be down the road to Gluck. This is still on Saturday, assuming somehow this actually all works according to plan.
That's that. There's a lot of assumptions, but that's what we got to work off of.
Yeah, we'll be at Gluck's to tour. Of course, everyone knows Gluck at this point is supporting member. He's got a little bit of a YouTube gym channel himself, if you haven't noticed.
He dabbles in the videos.
Yeah. And then still on Saturday, we're going to have a nightcap at the one and only Basement Brandon. Finally get inside that basement of his and check out everything inside of there.
See if he'll let us out once we're in there.
If we play our cards right, we'll finish by 9 or 10 p.m.
And right, what we just said there, we've only described 2 days of the trip so far.
Yes.
You know?
If we do that right, we'll finish by 9 or 10 p.m. and then drive about an hour and a half. So hopefully get checked into a hotel by midnight on Saturday night in Massachusetts. And then we'll wake up Sunday morning right away by 8 a.m. We'll be at Boston Jose's Garage Gym, followed by Friendly Neighborhood Lifter, his Massachusetts home gym. And then we've got a 1.5 hour drive west back to Connecticut to Waffle Iron Gym is our final. That is Sunday afternoon. We get that done, fly out of Connecticut by like 7 p.m. Sunday, get home or get to Sioux Falls by 11 p.m. Tommy should be sleeping by midnight. I should get home to Aberdeen by 2:30 a.m.
Yep.
And be asleep by 3 a.m.
Get up at 6 and do it all over again.
If that all goes according to plan, then I will get up at 6 a.m. to go to work.
And that's
6:15.
That's us about 9-ish videos when it's all said and done.
That should be it should be 9 gym tours and possibly a couple other videos if we can make it work.
Yeah, all
so we could have 11 videos.
About 60 hours it'll all take place.
Yes. It only sounds insane if you say it out loud.
Yeah, somewhere in there we got to eat and sleep and try to remember to go to the bathroom too at times.
Yes. So that's the trip. I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. I'm always just knock on wood that flights go like they're supposed to. I think if flights go like they're supposed to, basically nothing can hold us back.
Actually, even there, flights only have to go like they're supposed to on the way there. Like on the way back, it's annoying, but whatever. We're already gone.
Yeah.
It's just get us there. We'll take care of the rest.
Get us there close to on time, and we can take care of the rest.
Exactly.
So hopefully, if we're actually, I think there's a couple other crew that are going to be in the area that maybe we get to even run into on this trip. So it should be a whole bunch of almost everyone I mentioned, almost everyone that we're going to is crew. And so there again, the way you get people are always like, oh, come to my home gym, come to my home gym. A, yes, we want to, of course. B, the best ways we can find it is if you're a certified training facility and a supporting member. Both of those things help because then we don't miss it. And C, you might even be on the East Coast, but maybe you weren't in like this little part of it. And we kind of have like this never ending list now.
Oh, we had a list of like 10 more people where it was just like, oh, we go to this one, but by going to this one, it takes us off the road. And then we're going to miss 3 over here. And it's a balancing act of it's like just creating a path. You become, I talked about it in our last one. We become just like this weird job of being an event timeline coordinator of like this travel. It'd be like this. Oh, and then you're also just working with like 9 people's schedules, and this guy can only go in the morning, this guy can only go at night, and it's just it kind of organically works the way it does. And there's absolutely way more untapped gyms out in the area. Like we said, there'll probably be a New York City trip someday. Something New York City and even Philly, like something down towards that region.
Yep.
But for now, like this is what's on the list.
This is this trip, right?
Yep. But I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be it's complete insanity, but it's also going to be a lot of fun too. So, YouTube, this week's video. Was this week's video just your gym tour already? Or is that?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
That was the most recent.
Yeah.
It seems like forever ago already for some reason.
I agree.
So if you haven't watched that yet, make sure to check out Tommy's compact home gym tour, minimalist, whatever adjectives we use to describe Tommy's garage gym. And then the video that's come out by the time that this comes out is the in-depth rep by Reppin dumbbell review along with the Black Widow Reppin cart review.
Here's the complaints.
All tied into one video. Yeah.
Too heavy, too much noise. Strength
Not
curve is all
knurling.
off.
The plates weren't knurled.
The plates were not knurled. The resistance curve left a little
Did you
to be
mention
desired.
how noisy they are? Oh my
and they're
God.
noisy. Yep.
Still can't get the ringing out of my ear.
The dumbbells themselves did not have 1-inch holes on them for attachments.
Yeah.
And then they
really
did
liked
not
being able
include
to
any
put some
aluminum
attachments
pulleys
on.
with them either. So that was disappointing. But besides that, they were all good.
Definitely too heavy though, too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard
I'd like
to move
see
them.
the dumbbells be lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make them out of aluminum.
Yeah. So something to look for in version 2 when they redo them.
Yes. Okay. Make sure to head over. You want to know something that's not too heavy, not too loud? Doesn't even need pulleys. Knurling on it wouldn't even make sense.
Please tell
It'd
me.
be a pair of barefoot shoes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Specifically the Oso. I'm going to pitch these again. The CG2 black and white Oso. If you haven't looked at these, go check out them now. If you heard me talk about them last week, but you didn't look at the pictures, go check out the Oso version 2 in black and white. The Oso is a casual barefoot slip-on shoe designed for casual wear and everyday activities. Its wide toe box, flat, zero-drop outsole, and flexible frame are ideal for strengthening your feet and improving overall biomechanics. Expertly crafted with lightweight but yet heavy-duty canvas, it offers unparalleled breathability, durability, and comfort. You can also use discount code Massenomics at Barefoot. Saves you 10% with any pair of shoes that you order, and they're great. Barefoot.store.
This episode is also brought to you by Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is the smartest program for you. Since 2009, Juggernaut has been the trusted training source, helping tens of thousands of athletes reach their goals. From beginners to world champions, Juggernaut AI can help you. And this is how it works. You tell the system all about yourself and your goals. Then, once you got that in, their proprietary algorithms will work towards building the smartest program for you. It does individualized programming made for your goals. The system finds the right amount of work you need to make progress, and it optimizes your training frequency, periodization style, and it's all personalized to you and your exercise selection so you can target your weak points. And then once you get going, adjustments are made every step of the way. With every Juggernaut AI app or workout, the app learns from your feedback and creates the best program for you. As a longtime Juggernaut AI user, I not only believe these statements, I've lived these statements. I agree with them. They have helped me hit PRs and have kept my training fun and engaging and on track throughout the process. So if you're ready to give Juggernaut AI a try, head on over to the website, juggernautai.app. And when you're on there, you can use code Massenomics and save 10% on the lifetime of your membership. You have to do that on the website, juggernautai.app. Code Massenomics will save you 10%. Thank you, Juggernaut AI.
If you haven't yet, if you've been living under a rock and didn't see our new drop from last week released, the Drink Spotter Chill. It's a magnetic koozie in leather-ish material, black with gold imprint this time. We ordered a shitload of those, so we still got some of those left, of course. The horse stall mat scented ammonia. We have sold a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 25% of the inventory left. I was just looking at it over here. That will not last very long. That continues to sell very quickly. And I think when some people get this and try it for the first time, they're going to reorder. And it is going to sell out pretty soon. So if you have any desire to get in on a piece of history, I don't think this will be something that we reorder. It's not really a feasible reorder for us at this point. So with the collaboration, there's a lot that goes into that. So if you want the horse stall scented ammonia and you're listening to this, and you hop on the website and there's some left, I would buy that now because I do think that that's going to be gone really soon, the way that that's been going. And then we had the lifting department tee in sage green and the Silly Goose Barbell Club in peach. Both of those have sold well, but sizing's pretty good. We might be out of a couple sizes on them, but overall, like the heart of the size chart is still available in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I do really like both of those shirts.
Yeah.
Those are great shirts.
Both good.
We just keep coming out with shirts that I just really enjoy wearing myself.
God, these guys are good. How do they do it?
Yeah. What will they think of next?
Oh, just you stay tuned.
Yeah,
been doing some brainstorming over here.
I'll tell you this. What we do not have a lack of is ideas.
I think we've said it on the air before here, and I'm not exaggerating. When I go into our merchandise ideas, I just want to know if it actually tells me a number. I mean, no, it doesn't give me an actual number. There might be 200 ideas in here, maybe.
Yeah. We probably came up with 7 new ones today. And then I'm like, all of them are good ideas.
I know.
Like, it's just a matter of when and where they all fit into the puzzle.
And then also, can they be manufactured for a reasonable price? That's also the ultimate thing.
That ends up, like, we had a something just today where it's like, oh, I love this piece of apparel. It'd be great. I think a lot of other people will love it. It's going to sell out fast. And then it's like, God, you just cannot get this at a price that it really makes any sense. We either have to charge so much for it that I'd be ashamed of what we have to list it for, or we have to sell it for so little that I'm like, we're not really interested in doing the work for free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is the balancing act that happens with all this. Like, there's no shortage of ideas. It's what can you make? What can you make feasibly? What can you make that people can actually afford at, you know,
what
at the
can we
right
get
price
in
point?
order quantities that make
Yeah,
any
and then
sense
so then
for
order
us.
quantities. There's a lot of, once you get outside of just t-shirts, you know, it's
right, because we're mostly talking not t-shirt ideas.
Yeah,
You know,
we
we're
got the
talking
t-shirt
about
thing. I mean, that's
right.
There's not many variables there. That one's pretty easy to figure out.
Oh,
but
we got wild ideas for other products
Yeah.
that, like some of which I just think are great. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it and, when
or
to
we
do
have
it.
like funny, good designs, and we're like, what would be the best medium to convey this?
right.
You know, should it be a t-shirt? Should it be a banner? Should it be a sticker?
right.
Like, what should this actually appear on? Like, that's also a conversation that comes up
Yeah.
frequently.
The future's bright.
Come along for the ride with us, won't you?
Yeah, the future is very bright. All right. Do we land this hog?
I think so.
All right. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow. You can find me in the Dean. You can also follow me at Tanner_Baird, but nobody cares about that. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at
Just
Massenomics.
take that one-way road going north. It all leads to Tanner. Roads all go one direction, right to Tanner.
All northern roads in the Dean lead to Massenomics Gym. Kind of true.
See ya.